Welcome to Witch Yes, a podcast for casual conjurings, witches in training, and this, Lima Rita.
I'm Alicia Herder.
And I'm Terra Keck. And it's summertime.
If you like Lima Ritas
Da-da.
and getting burnt by the sun.
Oh no.
You love a COVID pandemic.
Don't.
I don't know the rest of this song.
I'm never meeting up with you.
You're a gross friend.
Swipe left.
Ew. On today's episode, Bones, not the TV show, which is in the news, and a spell to finally forgive yourself. About time. Oh my God. Been holding on to this guilt for so long. Let's get rid of it.
But I like it.
It's like an old friend.
It's my entire personality is built on this.
Basically cutting off my left arm, but that's okay.
There's bones in there.
There's bones. What review do we have today?
Scroll. Okay, I want to read two reviews, actually. One by Nanette BF and one by Barstow75. And they say, glitter star, sprout, diamond, flying money, diamond, glitter sprout. No, sprout and then the glitter star. But oh my gosh, they saw our emojis spell and they put it for us and I blessed them. And also, Barstow75 said, love it, best show ever. And then they gave us a book suggestion, which they said was 5-minute crystal ball. But Mama is 10-minute crystal ball because I Googled it. And there's no book called that. But you know what? I looked it up and it looks great. It's sold out at most locations, but they said that it's great for developing intuition and it looks pretty good.
Ooh. Yeah, but that 5 minutes really would have gotten me, though. I'd be like, I'd buy a book if, like, in 5 minutes I could do whatever I want with a crystal ball. Sure. 10 minutes, though, that's like commitment, you know?
That is longer than most of the Instagram lives I'm going to watch.
That's like a Duolingo lesson, and that owl is not happy with me right now.
He's got your fucking number.
He's like at my house with a knife at my window. ¿Qué? ¿Por qué? ¿Dónde está español? That was incorrect, but almost correct. I'm learning.
But yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I came back from a vacation. We were on like a lazy river in Vermont, which was so nice. But the last time I was on a lazy river was in Wisconsin. And so there were a bunch of like trees and it was fun, but it was hot, but you got drunk. So that was great. This one had no trees.
Oh no.
And no cloud coverage. So we just baked for 3 hours.
Hang on, show me your legs. Are you really brown on the top and really white on the bottom?
Kinda. At one point, there was a very clear line.
Oh, gorgeous. That's like summertime vibes right there.
Summertime sadness, right
So
there.
it's mad. Some fucking mad summer boy.
We got oof. Ooh, we hot. But Vermont was really pretty, and we went for Marcel's 30th birthday week, and he had a great time, and now he's an old man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Can he still get it up?
Yes.
Not that old.
Not that old.
Cut that, Marcel.
No, he'll want it in. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. So I would like to feature my new friend. I don't know if they're actually my friend, but I did engage on Instagram with this person. So her name is Ashe, the storyteller. You can find her on Instagram at the Ashe Shop. She's a highly researched storyteller and intuitive tarot card reader. She has a master's degree in psychology.
Hell yeah, women with degrees.
I know,
I
right?
love that.
Yes. So I came across her on Instagram. She has a really impressive book club. So she has this eclectic selection of books for sale on her website, and a good portion of the books she covers are on Yoruban and other West African stories. But on her Instagram, she also has book highlight sections that feature works on numerology, sabbats, and Santeria. She sells ingredients for spiritual baths, bundles, and candles. The fucking candles are beautiful.
Really?
They're gorgeous. They look like gold encrusted. They're phenomenal. She also has a ton of videos and other resources on her website, and she has a YouTube channel, which is also the Ashe Shop. Not to mention, her Instagram is extremely visually dynamic, which adds to the power of the story she tells. She says that she's first and foremost a storyteller. And I just wanted to read the little message that she had. So she says, I really just love telling stories of our history and indigenous past. Many people don't know, but there are homosexual and trans orishas and indigenous deities. Many of the problems faced by the LGBTQ community are rooted in these histories. And I believe that the solution to many of the problems we face today can be uncovered by learning about who we are and where we are from. And she says that it is her mission to help people become the leaders of their life journey by helping them to connect with their roots. So the thing that really drew me to her, not only because she has this really gorgeous Instagram where she just tells stories, and it's this selection isn't a part of my personal culture, but so many of the stories can be I feel very easily empathized with, because it feels very much across the world there are these archetypal stories. Super colorful. They have amazing drawings, but also she has this refreshing, straightforward and generous way of approaching these Instagram videos that she does. So you can book her pretty easily online, but also she has a tip jar, which I feel if you watch any of her videos, you should go to her tip jar on Instagram and just drop a few bucks in there.
Nice.
Because it's she's just so generous with all of her resources.
That's
it's
awesome.
She made this really fucking cool money jar.
We love money jars at Witch Yes.
How do I describe this? It's she was just yeah, I always add a little bit of extra honey because you need it. She's I always like to put a little bit of extra rosemary in there because it's this is what we trying to attract. And I was you could be my friend.
You're so smart.
So she has a Venmo and a Cash App. So there's really no reason not to drop her a few dollars. And she has an event, which will be past by the time this drops. I'm going to put it on the Instagram anyway, where she's hosting a meet and greet in New York at Union Square Park on Tuesday, July 21st. And again, this is the Ashe Shop on Instagram.
Okay.
And you'll find a link on our Instagram to her work.
ASHE shop?
Yes.
Perfect.
But besides that, I'm doing really good. Yeah, I'm just really pumped to talk about this super icky,
Gross.
yucky topic.
I didn't expect it to be so gross. And then I was you know what? Bones are gross.
Have you seen them?
Why did I not think it would be gross? Okay, so we're going to talk about Bones and not the TV show, which, have you ever seen Bones, the TV show?
I haven't. I've seen the commercials. It has a woman, right?
I think that's Grey's Anatomy.
No,
Well-
there's a dark-haired woman.
That's also Grey's Anatomy.
Shit! Fuck.
I actually haven't seen Bones either, so
Then we have to do a watch party.
I put you on blast, but I don't know what it is.
Yes, this is what she does. She redirects.
Oops. I'm so good at zip, zap, zop.
Yeah, I definitely going into this didn't know what necessarily to research, so I just typed Bones witchcraft into the
Goog?
Goog, and was just viciously confronted.
With the reality of Bones.
Yeah, I don't know about in your section, but in the section that I wrote on our Google Doc, I tried to replace everything that was icky and yucky with names like My Little Friend or the goo stuff.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
So,
I am ready. All right, Terra, so what's a bone?
well, it lives inside you. It's inside you all the time.
But okay, question number one. Already starting the questions. Is it living?
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah. They're alive.
What?
Bones are alive.
What?
So, I have some
go
facts.
home.
I have to go. I need to go to the nurse's office.
Ew, okay.
So, fact one, do you remember invertebrates?
Yes.
Their whole deal is that they do not have bones. No bones in those motherfuckers.
No bones. Like Harry Potter's arm.
Yes.
The second book, it's
Yeah. Exactly like that. So bugs, jellyfish, colossal squid. Have you seen those giant things? No bones in those. They're as big as boats.
It makes no sense.
Fact two. Then there are the vertebrates.
Mm-hmm.
And these goons got fucking bones. And the big ones that they care about are the backbone. Whether or not you have a backbone is the vertebrate part of the invertebrate or the vertebrate. Fact
Very
three.
important.
Bones are alive when they're inside of you. They make the shit for your body. I could not find a way to describe this with topics like My Little Friend. So there's layers in bones, right? There's layers in bones.
No, already I'm lost.
There's the outside.
Okay. The outside
Outside
of the bone.
of the bone is the thing that connects you to your person. You're it holds on to you and keeps you strong. The milk, I guess. And then there's the second layer, which is the hard part of the bone.
Okay.
And then inside that is a spongy part.
Ew.
Yeah, getting gross. And
Like a household dish sponge or like coral?
like a brain coral.
Ew. Okay.
And then inside that is a little cavity where the red friends hang out and are born.
What are red friends? What does that mean?
Blood.
Oh, okay.
That's where the blood cells are made.
Oh, okay. Blood.
Don't throw up. I'm sorry.
I'm not going to throw up. I just thought there was something else living in the bones.
Another man in there.
I was about to be like, what the hell?
So when you're a human baby, you're born with 300 bones and some cartilage. As you grow, your bones fuse together to make 206 bones. If you are over 25, I'm sorry, you're done growing.
You lose 94 bones?
They become super bones.
Okay.
Okay. So this led me down a rabbit hole, which was, for onesies, about cartilage.
Yes.
Sharks and rays have skeletons that are made entirely out of cartilage, which apparently doesn't fossilize well. So, like those big things that are like you'll see in Florida that are like the big shark mouths? Mm-hmm. Cartilage, not bone, motherfucker.
Don't use it for witchcraft.
Well, I mean we didn't. Today's episode is not about cartilage, so we're not going to tell you how to use it. So the stuff that makes up like your nose and ears, also cartilage. It doesn't fossilize well. How many skeletons you see walking around with ears?
Good point.
0, none. Goodbye.
None.
Okay, so if you find a bone in the woods or on the beach, what do we do with these things?
Okay. So first, find a bone, but before you take a bone off of a dead carcass or whatever, you fucking psychopath, you need to ask permission.
You fucking serial killer in the making.
I don't know why you're doing this.
What's up, Ted Bundy? Go home.
Oh my gosh.
Just keep studying law. You'll be a great professor.
One day, you need to ask permission through a prayer to that animal and make sure that you receive the permission needed. So you pray to these animal bones and then ominous lightning strikes in the distance and you leave that shit alone. But if it's like, a nice breeze, it doesn't seem like anything dangerous or uncomfortable is happening, then you can proceed and take the bones from wherever you found them.
Some like little kids like, please don't, that's my dog.
You hit
her with a car. Why are you taking her teeth?
Why are you in my backyard?
How did you get your SUV through our fence?
Okay, so if you want to just find bones in the wild and you've received permission, what do you do now?
Well, I think that maybe you should think about why you want these bones. Why you think that
so bad. Why do you want these so bad?
What is wrong with... Why is your mouth watering? Okay, well then after that, after you've been to therapy and you come back to the bones...
and you pray again, just to make sure.
You really have to fucking clean these things. Like, people don't clean them. It's fucking gross and weird. And I'm going to teach you how.
Ew.
I know.
Okay.
These are the things you're going to need. You're going to need your specimen.
The bones.
The bones. Or the things that come with the bones.
Okay.
You're going to need a plastic container, a series of plastic containers. You're going to need hydrogen peroxide. You're going to need dish soap. You're going to need gloves. You're going to need time. You're probably going to need some like...
a candle.
Just to like pray to for forgiveness. And then you need some Pepto-Bismol because you're not feeling so good right now.
So these plastic containers, like their time as Tupperware is now over.
Oh yeah, after this it's done. So no more fucking pepperonis or like no more lean cuisine in that motherfucker.
Ooh.
And also I'm like, you have to have an appropriate size Tupperware for the animal that you have. So if you're grabbing a little coyote, that little 6-quart container not going to cover it, my dude.
But the Chinese restaurant gives me so many.
So the first part of this is decomposition.
Okay.
Okay, so I've like never seen a dead thing and been like, I'm going to do something with that thing.
Yeah. I see dead things and I like cry.
I say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
A lot to dead things. So if you see a dead thing that's like not entirely bones yet, there's 3 ways you can handle it. The first one is just like a natural send-off.
A Viking funeral.
So it's going to be ugly and it's going to be stinky and it's going to attract other animals. So you need to find a place to put these little guys where they're not going to be a disruption to you or your neighbors and also attract coyotes because you don't have Tupperware big enough for those coyotes you're going to have to fend off. You need to cage these dearly departed creatures so big animals can't get to them while still making sure that like those good invertebrates that we talked about earlier and bacteria can do the thing that the planet needs from them, which is give them their wonderful life dust.
Okay.
You can also bury it and mark where you buried it so you don't lose it.
Like treasure.
Yeah, like treasure. So bury it deep enough that like a cat's not going to come dig it up. But then also like those little invertebrates that are in the ground can munch on those goodies. And then natural methods can usually take like weeks and then maybe even up to a few months. So depending on your climate, if you're in Siberia, like I think you're going to be there a while.
Yeah. It'll just freeze over, right?
Yeah. And it'll just be like, you know, they find little girls on Mount Everest that have been there for thousands of years. Have you ever seen those pictures?
No.
It's like little girls sent up to the top of Mount Everest as tribute to some god. And it looks like she's just
sitting there waiting for something to happen.
Yeah. But she's like 3,000 years old. You could also like Mountain Witch style this situation where you take your little friend and you turn him into bones faster with your will. And I will never be able to tell you how to do that.
Okay.
With knife.
Ew.
I'm not gonna. You need to Google that yourself.
Okay.
Or you can just like fucking leave the damn thing there and then like go to the beach and find some shells because they're the bones of the sea.
It's so easy.
You don't need this thing that you found.
Ooh.
Leave it in the street. Okay, so the casual boner,
Ooh,
this is what I'm calling her, that I got this list from, really advocated for allowing these friends to like naturally return to the earth because it just seems like more eco-friendly and it's better for like your ecosystem as a whole. When you collect the bones, you like really fucking need to wear gloves and you need to wear a mask or a bandana or a respirator because these guys give off
guess
like...
what? I'm already wearing a mask.
Yeah, it's like welcome to 2020.
Hell yeah, time to get some bones.
You are primed. But I guess these guys like give off like airborne particles, which can like really make you sick. So it's definitely not some poopery or some perfume, Keck Kardashian perfume that you need to be spritzing on yourself. So you now have bones. And that's exciting. So depending on the specimen, sometimes there's going to be like fur or like other shit left over, which is super yucky. Sometimes that's like easy to pick off with just like a quick soak with soap and water and like tweezers. But other times you need to opt for maceration, which means you're going to put the whole fucking thing into a trash bin. You're going to fill it with water, put your little friend in there, and then it's going to make fucking bacteria death soup that you're going to leave for several months.
Months?
Yeah, this is like a long process.
My city life can't accommodate this kind of behavior.
No matter what, by now you have some bones. And just because you're dead doesn't mean you don't have an oily T-zone. So you got to degrease these guys. You're going to throw your now...
Greasy in life, greasy in death.
Shouldn't have been eating all that pizza late at night.
Oops.
So you're going to throw your now kind of clean bones into a Tupperware with dish soap and water for a week or two. You'll see that there's like this grease accumulating at the top. And like the picture that I saw... The water is like pretty blue. So I'm thinking like you don't want to sleep on this soap. Like I would really be generous with the soap.
Okay.
You're just going to like scrape that off. And apparently for the next process, which is whitening and sanitizing, you don't want to bleach or boil the bones because they can really damage them, sometimes like immediately. So this source said to just like throw those bony bitches in like a 50-50 solution of hydrogen peroxide and water and like cover it, but like not airtight. And then just like let them sit for another week. This is just a lot of like, hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. And then apparently they should be like pearly white and gorgeous after that. And it sounds like to me that like if you're going to go through this whole process of like killing your brother in the woods and then like macerating him and like leaving like animals out to and then like putting them in the soapy solution, probably going to be like 6 months of work.
This sounds like you'd get caught.
How? DNA's gone. I watched it.
He's missing.
Went to Florida.
As they all do, eventually.
But I like just like can't see myself doing this.
Let me tell you how else you can ascertain bones. That isn't going into the wild and being a mad woman with a machete.
Oh, God. Mountain witches.
Mountain witches. You could go to the Bone Room, which is a website with the fucking scariest bones you could ever think of. It says a human skull is worth $2,000. You could buy a human skull.
Are you legally allowed to do that on the internet?
You are, except they cannot ship in any human bones to Georgia, Tennessee, or Louisiana.
I don't live any of those places.
So we can get them.
Oh, no.
Isn't that awful?
Wait. Okay.
Wait.
Are they donations? Where are they getting these bones?
So it says that they are either donated or bought, but it does seem like these aren't just bloody victims that they found. So it seems like all means that they acquire their bones are, I don't know if the word is ethical, but not illegal.
Yeah, because those things don't always like interact. They're not always the same.
Yeah. And there are a bunch of rules too. Like there's a Native American Graves Protection and Repatriation Act. So from certain sites, they cannot accept bones. So if you're just like grave digging, they probably won't take your bones.
You're like not that girl in Louisiana that got caught like at the pauper's grave. She's like, I just find these bones in the river, and it's like, you're just taking those from graves.
Like is that a river? Rivers are wet. Exactly. So there are places to source bones that aren't the wild. You can also go to the dark web.
Oh, I'll just type it in. Dark web.
Almost worked.
That's just a lot of Jeffrey Epstein content. Oh, no.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, though. So dark web, if you know how to do that, that's on you. Also, maybe your community taxidermist has further ideas of where to go. I also read your local butcher.
Oh, yeah.
You could buy bones from your butcher. I don't know how that conversation goes. I don't really want to know how that conversation goes.
I think you gotta be a real people's person to do that kind of transaction.
Yeah. And I think you still have to clean the bone if you buy it.
Yeah, they're not
from a butcher.
Soaking it in 50-50.
They don't care.
No.
Yeah. And then the last place you can go is Etsy or eBay.
You can just get bones off the internet.
You can just get bones off the internet. I don't think Etsy and eBay do human bones, but they do animal bones.
Wow.
They don't do petrified cat corpses.
No, we have already established this boundary.
We know that.
If it's got hair on it, no.
It's out.
Done so.
Not doing that. So, okay, we went to the woods, we went to the butcher, we went to the bone room, which is, for anyone interested, just boneroom.com. I went to Etsy, I went to eBay, did not get that cat I wanted, but here I am.
I have all these bones now.
I have all these bones. What do I do?
My husband has left me because I spent all our money on bones.
I am rich in bones. What do I do now? What do I do with these?
What do you do with these? Okay, well, my first inclination
Get rid of them.
is
Trash them.
fucking flip those motherfuckers. Flip them. Create a backstory. Create a backstory for them. They're Queen Victoria's bones.
Okay.
And you're selling, oh my God, or
I think that's illegal.
that might be illegal.
I think
Secondary
that's illegal. Yeah.
idea. Sell them to Catholic churches so they can make their altars work.
You're right. So we could also just go to a Catholic church and steal bones. But that's theft, and that's also illegal.
How?
How illegal is it?
Yeah. Because I'm like, you definitely stole those bones from someone else, dude. Two wrongs don't make a right. But, two bones make magic. So here we go.
Rub them against each other, they make a fire.
Yeah. So an interesting thing that I found was basically like everybody's fucking horny for bones.
No.
Every grouping of people in history has had some kind of fetishization of bones. And some of them are weirdly related. And some of them are like exceptionally unique and precious and very interesting. The first one I thought that was very interesting, you may have heard of this, the furcula. Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
The furcula.
I've never heard of this.
Yes,
What is
you have.
this?
It's called the wishbone.
Oh, I love that.
So,
Not the dog.
how does it work? Have you ever done this wishbone activity as a U.S. woman?
Yes. So in a turkey, there's a wishbone. And if you get the longer side, when you like crack it in half with someone, then your wish is going to come true. But I always got the shorter end of the bone.
No.
And those my dreams have never come true.
And we can't recreate this because Thanksgiving is difficult for us.
It is. I'm a vegetarian.
So I thought that this thing was just like a crazy, probably came up in like the 1920s.
I never thought to have thoughts about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was like, oh, this is a Thanksgiving activity.
It's like football or like
Easy. Done.
my uncle getting drunk.
Yeah. I mean, this is just life, right?
Someone yells, it's normal.
It's normal.
So it's actually not from the U.S.
Shocker.
because we don't come up with anything
We don't
on
do
our
things
own.
here, really. Yeah.
Not really. We just invent the KKK. So Etruscans came up with this practice. So the Etruscans are like this Italian, come from what is now Italy. They started around 900 BC and then were absorbed by the Romans around 27 AD.
Okay.
If you've ever seen like Etruscan pottery, it's like very much like that Roman, like terracotta and black, like side view stories of.
Oh, like Hercules.
Yeah. Etruscans preserved the wishbone of chickens because it was understood that birds as a whole had divine powers.
Oh, I wish we treated birds these days like they had divine powers.
I would really love that.
Me too.
Their idea was that if you kept this particular bone, you would retain access to that divine power. There's no info on why this bone, but they'd pull this bone from like this poor chicken's little chest. And then they would dry it in the sun till it was like nice and sort of dense, not wet anymore. And then they would fucking stroke it and ask it for wishes.
Oh.
This was a reoccurring wish-producing bone. Okay. So the Romans come in. They say, yum, 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 Etruscans, you are now us. The Etruscans are like, ooh, okay, bye. And then they use their bones. Anyway, so they adopt this custom.
Mm-hmm.
I read this thing that I don't entirely understand. I was hoping maybe you could unpack it. So on this website, kidsconnect.com, which is telling me the history of the wishbone. It says, it got to a point where the number of wishbones was not enough to meet the demand, as so many Romans desired to make wishes. And so they began breaking chicken bones in two, which I was like, if there's a large demand, so you're like creating even more demand because the supply is so low. I was like, are you making it like a scarce resource so they're not just going to like want to buy a bunch of wishbones? This is like a special one-time thing. I have no fucking resources to prove that.
I don't understand how they're breaking the chicken into two. Just the wishbone itself?
Just the wishbone into two.
Oh, I guess.
And also that this practice would be like entirely attached to like a capitalist system of like supply and demand.
The Romans knew about capitalism, though. Caesar, he was on it.
Have you seen those pillars?
Oh, they're large.
Corinthian
they're very large.
as fuck.
Oof.
So then the English adopt this practice through the Romans. And then when those fucking pilgrims come over, they're like, where are our chickens? Oh, there aren't any, but there's a bunch of turkeys.
Ah, gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble. And that's how we got to the point where we keep the wishbones. Did your family dry them out for like a specific amount of time?
I don't know.
Some people are like, we dry them out from Thanksgiving to Christmas.
Oh, absolutely not. We did it the day of.
How did you like in the oven dry it out? How'd you get it dry so
You
fast?
know, it might not have been dry.
Really?
I feel like it might have come out. It got washed and then patted down with a paper towel. It was like, all right, who wants to do it? Oh, I'm like, oh my God, I would love a wish to come true. One day I'm going to be a princess and I'm going to be powerful and there's going to be princes and I'll be the smartest cookie there. And then I got the short end and I'm like, well, here I am.
And Kyle's over there like, I wish for a croissant.
10 croissants come to him.
I wish to never grow hungry of croissants. So I read like, I didn't put this in the document, but I read like, how do you get good at winning the wish? And they were like, okay, it has to be really dry. And they were like, you have to hold it closer to the base. You hold it with your thumb and your pointer finger. Mm-hmm. You want to hold it closer to the base than the other person. And then you don't want to tug that hard.
Let them do the work.
Yeah. It's more likely that the person that's tugging harder is going to break it. And then, of course, there's always like a thicker side. So you're like, I want the thicker side. But yeah, it's like if the other person like is pulling harder than you.
No, that's just the force of my wish pulling hard.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Guess you didn't want it that bad.
Guess I didn't.
It wasn't meant for you.
No.
I also tried to do a little bit of research on shark tooth necklaces because those are really popular in like Florida.
The Jersey Shore.
The Jersey Shore. Apparently they became really popular after the Jaws movie.
Ah, that makes sense.
And there's like kind of this...
Capitalism, once again.
Oh, 100%. And then there's like this belief that if you wear a shark tooth necklace and you go into the water, like you're going to be safe from shark attacks.
I think I've heard that before, actually.
And there's no scientific proof for that. But it seems to me...
But have anyone who's been attacked by a shark been wearing a shark tooth?
You would never know because their bodies were dragged to the bottom of the ocean.
And digested completely.
Mm-hmm. With that necklace.
Ah, good point. Fair point. Continue.
So it also seemed to me that some of this is connected to Hawaiian traditional culture. So it may not be as not tacky as you think it is to be wearing this shark tooth necklace because sharks are very heavily regarded or very respected within Hawaiian culture. So maybe don't get your nephew this thing. But sharks make a lot of teeth, so you're not really hurting the shark if you take the tooth. You might just be hurting someone's feelings and about their culture.
Which we found out is much worse.
Which is so much worse.
I would love to talk about Hawaiian mythology one day because it's so crazy. They have so many very unique stories.
Yeah.
That would be so much fun. Okay, another thing that you can do with these bones is witchcraft, guys. You can do witchcraft
Have
with
you
the
guys
bones.
noticed
Have you
that you
heard
can
of
do
that?
that?
Yeah. So animal bones are supposed to be a great way to connect that animal's energy. Some people believe that the bones of an animal are key to an animal's soul or spirit, as if it's a tether that still connects them to the physical world. Animal bones hold energy in a way that's long-lasting and doesn't need to be recharged often, surprisingly. They transmit a powerful yet subtle energy.
Like, not at all like crystals that are like, every time you look at me, you need to fucking put me in the moon. If you do not put me in the moon right now, I will explode.
Exactly. So bones are supposed to have just being able to retain their power for longer. Like you do need to cleanse and charge them, but not to the extent of these little rocks that we all have. They transmit a powerful yet subtle energy that you have to get your own body and mind attuned to, and it may not work on your first tries. So if it doesn't work, try again. And if it still doesn't work, are you a witch or are you just pretending?
Oh, no! Oh, God, the nightmare.
Her worst fear.
The nightmare scenario revealed. You're just cosplaying your whole identity.
Why are you trying this at Comic-Con right now? JK, Comic-Con's dead. It's a COVID
situation.
Whoops. Once you've established a bond with the animal's energy, you can use the bones to aid you in witchcraft. And here are some examples. Rodent bones are used for having like a low profile. Deer bones can help aid in finding your way, moving quietly, and having acute awareness to your surroundings. And antlers are used for strength, standing your ground, and becoming larger than life, and even like intimidating, like giving you that physical presence. Like obviously not metamorphosizing you into Bigfoot, but just like that like powerful feeling of intimidation.
Which is my other nightmare that I relive every night when the moon is full.
Of being too intimidating or not intimidating
Becoming
enough?
Bigfoot.
Honey, you're just a werewolf.
No. I'm sorry.
Antlers are great for protection spells to keep yourself and the ones you love safe. Instead of connecting to a certain animal through their bones, you could also use bones to connect to the land where that animal comes from. So if you're a sea witch, the shark teeth.
Oh, yes. Or the shells.
Or the seashells.
Or those 1,500 bones.
Yes.
I'm a fish, sorry.
So all of that can help you do whatever water-based witchcraft you want. Find bird bones. You can use that as an elemental witch to connect to the air. Do you see where we're going with this? Deer bones and antlers can be used to connect to nature as a green witch or a hedge witch. Rat bones can be used to connect to the trash capital of the world, New York City.
Finally. I'm gonna get discovered.
It's called the City Witch. Sweaty palms, bubbling anxiety, public transportation, and saying, forget about it.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, perfect.
Did you ever do, in biology class, like in middle school, dissecting the owl pellet?
Yes, I did.
Did you ever find anything?
There were like bones in it. I'm assuming this is also where people source their bones.
Yes.
Just a bunch of owl pellets.
I remember I found a rat skull that I kept for years in a jewelry box. Disappeared. Probably because I didn't fucking clean it and it turned to ash. I fucking sniffed that thing in the fucking hell. Like, nobody told me any different.
Yeah, I had no intention of keeping anything that was like in some creature's poop. It like doesn't do it for me, really.
It really does it for me.
Oh, really? Tell us more. What else do you find?
So continue.
Okay, so you can hold the bone and you can talk to the bone. What else can I do with these bones?
If you're not going to throw them away after that, I guess you could do other stuff. So there is this huge amount of resources for divination through bones. And this seems to be like the thing that across cultures, people are fucking interested in.
That's so psychotic. Across cultures, the one thing that unites us all is
Not
our obsession
Not love.
with bones.
Not family. Bones.
Bones.
And also, I think that the other thing that I found creepy is that a lot of civilizations or peoples have obsessions with blade bones. So shoulder blade bones of both humans and animals.
Oh, that's a blade bone. Okay.
I don't know if that's because it has the largest surface area, but then it's also like the pelvic bone has a lot of surface area. So these are the steps.
Okay.
Step 1, you take the bone and you're sad because it is a bone and something has died.
Do I actually have to be sad, or is that not part of it?
You know, I guess you can just do what you want.
You're just
saying,
saying from your perspective, that thing is dead, and this is kind of sad.
this was my morning. This is how I lived it.
Okay.
So then you could throw the bone into a fire until it cracks.
I spent so much time making this bone perfect. I'm just going to throw it in a fire.
6 months of metastasization.
Ah.
Anyway, you could throw it into a fire until it cracks. You're going to pull the bone out, hopefully with tongs and not your bare hand. Once it's cool, The splits and cracks are going to tell you what's up. The splits that are sort of lengthwise or vertical, like if you're looking at this bone lengthwise, those are going to be the cracks that signify one's way of life. So this is like your path.
Okay.
And then the horizontal cracks are supposed to foretell like good or bad situations.
Okay. That's kind of cool.
In Scotland, they'd strip these bones and then inspect them for semi-transparent parts of bone. So they'd be like holding them up to the fire. And there's parts of your bone that are like less dense than others that you can like see light through. And then it'd be like dark spots or black spots. It'd be like bad luck or death.
Ooh. Well, it's a little too late for that one.
It'd be like, this man is going to die from diabetes. And you're like,
You have a bone and you're like, this man is dead.
and that's an episode of Bones.
That's it. Thanks for coming.
She like tastes the bone. Yeah, dead.
Yeah,
Super dead. Oh, God. So in Japan, blade bone divination is prehistoric and seems heavily favoring of the stag. So they would like use stag blade bones to divine some kind of future or intention. The next is what's called bone tarot or bone throwing.
Is creative director Mallory Porter listening right now?
She's pissed.
She's pissed.
She's back there. She's there. She looks cute. She got dressed up.
She's got a Starbies in one hand. Thank you, husbands.
Most articles that I read said people all over the world sort of have bone throwing parts of their culture.
So weird.
It's just like, I don't know what it is about human species, like as a whole, that they were like, yeah, this is
They
totally.
just love throwing things.
I think that's for onesies. For twosies, they're like, this was inside of me. Ooh, death. So it's like all over the world, there are all of these practices of bone throwing, but each sort of culture or people have their own unique way of doing it. So like, no matter who you are, you can do bone throwing and not be culturally appropriating, but there are certain kinds of bone throwing that are for you.
I see.
See? So it's like, if you are named Ashley from Minnesota, should not be maybe taking part in Haitian bone throwing. You know, it's like, you have your own little thing over here that's just as good.
She's like, damn it.
Yeah, she's like, fucking fuck, I'm in St. Cloud and I have nothing to do in quarantine and all I did was buy all this stuff on Etsy. Okay.
Whoops.
So they have these like different kinds of sets. Some bones have other stuff. So it's like coins or stones. Others are like just chicken bones, but they're painted. They have symbols or like really colorful. Some bones are like fucking huge. It's like a bunch of fucking bones you have to throw. And then some are like so small you can fit everything in the palm of your hand.
That's adorable,
Like
but I would
dice.
lose that.
Yeah, you'd have to be like very thoughtful. Maybe if it were expensive, you'd take better care of it.
You're right. I probably would.
So you want to throw bones.
All right. Here we are.
Here we are. We're going to do it. So some practices say that there are spirits within each bone, which we've already talked about. Other practices view the set as a whole, as an entity. So it's like your set, your Ouija board, like that's like a complete being instead of like a collection of a bunch of different ones. Just like tarot, you got to ask those fuckers a question.
So many questions in witchcraft.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, I really don't need this knowledge, right? I can't really deal with any more answers in my life. You can throw them on a hard surface, on a cloth, on fur, on a marked cloth with like specific regions. Like we talked about some of those like star charts or like rune charts, or on top of like a design that you fucking draw into the dirt. Like there are no rules. You can do whatever you want.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot.
As you throw them, you've asked them your question, you should be inspecting these general areas. How did they fall? Where are they located? Are they touching each other? And which ones are really far apart?
Okay.
These are some items that you might have in your bone throwing kit. Feathers for flight, travel, communication, and messages from the dead. Coins, or anything that's like two-sided. Yes or no answers. Easy.
Easy. Thank goodness.
So easy. Wishbones for not wishes, luck, prosperity, good fortune. Skeleton key. So there's like this thing that's like representing the key. So that's like transitions, open doors, opportunities, decisions. Quartz, like the little pointed ones. So amplification, positivity. Amethyst, which are for soul, afterlife, like psychic abilities. I imagine like if you're trying to do any kind of astral projection, like talking to spirits beyond. Fossils, so that's like past, ancestors, perseverance. Claws, also for past. White shells, all those fucking shells you picked up at Coney Island, those are going to be for like purity and hope. River rock, so it's like a light color river rock. Innocent. Food intentions. I was like, the fuck are food intentions? And then we had to fucking record this episode, so I didn't have time to look it up. Black river rocks are like banishment, like pushing that stuff away. Kind of like white candle versus black candle. One is like manifesting, bringing in. One is like pushing away and releasing.
Yes.
beans.
Beans.
Hopefully not baked. Those are for fertility and growth.
Refried.
No.
It's like, ew.
Gross. Buttons, those are like connections and bonds. And then teeth, which is like communication, truth, and lies. So that's like a big, long list. And one of the things that I learned is like, you are going to gain your own understanding of these objects. I feel like even though we're talking a lot about bones, like in the last episode, we talked about how the chalice is supposed to like represent something. The altar is supposed to represent something. The wand is supposed to represent something. Like these bones and all these fucking things that you're buying on Etsy, they represent something. And like the intention that you put into them is what's important. So I feel like you could just fucking throw anything, honestly. You could throw a bunch of shit.
Thank God.
And be like, yeah, my boyfriend's super cheating on me.
The bones and the ceramic pots told me.
The fucking plates and mugs I threw at you. Did you see the way they landed?
That's spooky. That's some spooky shit. All right, I'm done talking about bones today. I'm over
really ready to
Witches in the news.
Oh. Witches in the news.
Oh.
She is here with some info for you. It is topical, nominal, ready for... I'm done.
Ooh, that was so good, though. I was like, I'm always curious how long we can go, and then someone gets self-conscious, and it ends.
Aware that my tongue rests on the top of my mouth.
I'm just thinking about my tongue right now. I don't want to be.
You gotta get out of here.
All right, first up, we've got to talk about mucho, mucho amor.
Sí.
From the 1970s up to 2010, Walter Mercado Salinas dominated the Latinx television market with his astrology shows. Many a little Latina and Latino grew up with Walter Mercado on their television, telling them what their future holds for their horoscope.
Yay. Tell me, Danny.
He was a cultural phenomenon for decades and spoke to over 120 million people a day on his broadcast. And now you, listener at home, can learn about this Puerto Rican's life and legacy in the new Netflix documentary, Mucho Mucho Amor, The Legend of Walter Mercado. Marcel and I actually met the producers of Mucho Mucho Amor while we were at Sundance, and they, honest to God, overheard Marcel talking and were like, "Are you from Miami?" And like bombarded him. It was so cute. I was like, what?
The fuck?
Marcel always thinks he has an accent, and I don't hear his accent,
Oh, he
but
totally
apparently
does.
other people hear it.
He super does.
I'm in love with him, so, you know.
He just sounds Midwestern to you.
He just sounds like Marcel. That's how Marcel sounds. The title of Mucho Mucho Amor comes from Walter's sign-off that he would do at the end of every episode. He would always end each episode by saying, "Con mucho, mucho amor," with lots and lots of love. I know. By watching this documentary, you are only supporting our witchy woo-woo icons, but you are also supporting independent film, and with that signifying to Netflix and other distributors that we want to see more Latinx stories on their platforms.
Yes.
Mucho Mucho Amor is currently on Netflix on a TV, computer, or smartphone screen near you. So check it out. It's really good. I've already watched it.
Really?
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. It's easy. Next up, Randonauts, the new app for terrifying adventures. So a new app is blowing up on TikTok. Like everything blows up on TikTok. You know how it is now.
God damn it.
The youths. The youths.
Fine,
They're just
I'll
so
get
in
one.
tune. Yeah. The app called Randonautica randomly generates coordinates for you to go to a certain place and explore the area on a random journey. As you wait for the app to load the coordinates, you are supposed to think of an intention. Like it asks you to think of an intention, something you want to see or hear or allude to on this journey. When you arrive at the coordinates destination, in theory, something from your intention will be there for you to witness. Randonautica is leaving its users with quite a time. Earlier this summer, a group of teenagers were exploring Seattle when they randomly found a suitcase at their generated coordinates. Once they managed to open the suitcase, the kids discovered a foul-smelling trash bag, prompting the teenagers to call the police.
God, I remember this.
The group's worst suspicions were later confirmed. Seattle police announced that they were launching an investigation after verifying the suitcase contained a dead body.
And then Randonautica fucking put it there. No, take that out. We can't say that. Allegedly.
We don't know that. Allegedly.
It would be an interesting story if it was. Don't sue me.
Wink. Randonautica has become very popular during the coronavirus because it can generate coordinates that are within a 10-minute drive and sometimes even closer. So it's a great way to have a unique spin on exploring your neighborhood. And sometimes it leads to very creepy and fun discoveries. And I mean, we're living through a pandemic, so what do you have to lose? You might even end up being an unwilling participant in a murder case, and that's more exciting than what you're doing now.
Yeah. Don't you know? You're a junior. You are nothing.
You are nothing. You are remote learning. It's like, go take a walk,
Have you
Let's get healthy.
Downloaded this app yet?
Yeah, I have.
Have you generated a coordinate?
I did. So it took us to like a corner that wasn't too far. It was like a 7-minute walk. And so I had the intention of like, just like writing, whatever that meant. And so we get there. Nothing too exciting happened, but there were just like little things that seemed just like a little weird. We didn't really discover anything. And I don't know if I can quite be like, yes, that matches with my intention. But when I become a Pulitzer Prize winning author and use something from that adventure, then I can be like, yes, it did.
Also, these fucking teens are like, my intention is death. my intention is darkness, demons. And I'm like, why can't you just say
Puppies.
peace on earth?
Peace on earth.
Friendship. No.
Wholesome fun.
No. Satan. Apparently. Aiden.
Yo, it's hard to be a teenager, though.
It's not that hard. They have to show, yeah.
Next. Witch bottle found in New Orleans.
Yay, another.
In early July, Shane Mears discovered a small witch bottle by the river on Brooklyn Avenue in New Orleans. Shane is quite a dude. He is known for his interest in digging around sites of old houses, new swimming pools, construction sites, etc., and just basically looking for hidden treasure. That's like his thing. It's his MO. This is what he does in his free time.
Oh, that's what gets him off. I see.
Yeah, he just likes it. It's like an adventure. He goes with like a fucking shovel to the site when people aren't working at it and just starts digging.
So he trespasses.
Yeah, I mean,
and he steals.
Yeah. I mean, they're illegal or ethical, remember? We talked about this.
Okay.
He's found some lace-up shoes similar to what ladies wore in the 1800s, some animal bones, and now this weird old-fashioned glass filled with murky liquid. The bottle was a little bit bigger than an airline serving of vodka, and inside, Shane found a tooth, which he thinks may be human, some hair, which he also thinks may be human. It sounds like he's hoping that they're human.
Oh, God. He really wants it to be human.
He really wants it.
He can, like, rationalize why he drank it all.
And he also found, like, a tiny bug inside.
Tiny bug.
That's kind of cute. Shane, unlike all of the listeners at Which Yes, didn't know what this little creepy bottle could be, so he Googled it. And he was delighted.
Oh, yeah, he fucking was a weirdo.
Yep, to find out this bottle could have been a witch bottle. Shane immediately shared his find on social media, to which he found some intrigue and just some truly fucking cautious people. One Facebook commenter wrote, "All sorts of shit will come your way if you intervene with its purpose. Best to leave it to continue to do its work and stay out of the way." While another person commented, "This year has been bad enough, dude. Put it back. Put it back.
Fucking put it back. Back to the earth. Put that Jumanji fucking shit back in the ground."
We ain't playing anymore, you guys. We ain't playing. Shane is still unsure what to do with the little witch bottle at this point, but he said he's thinking about donating the bottle to a museum with the hopes that his grandchildren could one day visit the bottle and be proud of what their grandfather had found.
On someone else's property in the middle of the night.
You know, he had to pay like a lot of fines and like was arrested and shit, but you know, he had a good time.
Shane sounds fucking white.
It's going to be in a museum, you know? Oh yeah, he's a white dude. He also found like a white albino catfish. That was part of the story I read, but that was a few weeks before. So he just has like fun adventure time.
He's definitely using Randonautica.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, actually, maybe. That makes a lot of sense. And thank you all. That has been this week's Witches in the News.
Yay.
All right, so now I have all this guilt about just hemorrhaging bones from my life. So please, Terra, tell me a spell on how to just forgive myself and move on and hopefully just forget that any bad thing ever happened. Like trespassing or, you know.
I don't know if I've had enough of this lime marita to get you to that point.
Okay, well, keep drinking. It's a big one.
It's really tall. You know?
You know when you're like at a bar and you're not talking to anyone and there's some stranger next to you and they put their drink down, they look at you and they go, you know? That's what she just did to me. Except we're sitting across from each other making beautiful eye contact.
You know, my wife's a real bitch. Slut. No, I was going to say, I think the Limeritas got better.
Okay, good.
I think that I remember that they used to be fucking awful and I hated them.
I think I've only had a strawberryta. I don't know if I've had a limerita.
Strawberryta was very bad. Maybe I've just had the strawberryta.
Maybe you're just thinking of Four Loko.
No, that was good. I
No,
remember that one.
I remember not liking it.
That's why the government took it away.
Yeah.
So, I found this spell. Part of it is to help you forgive yourself, but another part of it is to help you get over yourself. Because that's part of forgiving yourself.
Ego death.
You're not special. You're really alone. We all die alone.
We all become bones.
We all become bones. That's pretty good.
Thank you.
Okay, so I got this spell from Llewellyn.com, our friend.
Mm-hmm.
I've edited it a little bit because I thought a little bit was just like too needy. So first thing you're going to need, fresh piece of paper.
Excellent. Easy enough.
You can use a blue ink pen.
Oof, do not have that.
Right, so that's for peace, protection, and also clarity. But I think you can also use a pink pen for self-love and healing, or a black pen, because it's what you fucking have at your house.
Thank
no one
God.
has blue pens anymore. But also I feel like black is like for protection, uncrossing, and that's really what we need right now. Because it's about forgiving ourselves. You're going to need some twigs. They have to be breakable, and you have to be strong enough to break them, or else this isn't going to work. Okay, so don't be getting some big boys or like those really thin guys that just bend.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're going to need mugwort or rosemary bundles, which, you know, are two favorite alternatives for white sage, because Llewellyn called for white sage and I said, it is 2020.
And we're not doing it.
No, we're not.
No.
You need some kind of fanning tool. So Llewellyn said use a feather. I just want you guys to make sure you stay away from eagle feathers, because those...
They're endangered.
For onesies, they're endangered. For
That's
twosies,
illegal.
They're bald. So we
They
don't...
need them. They need as many feathers as they can get.
It's really a restoration situation. And also it's like, we know not to use eagle feathers because it is cultural appropriation of Native people's magical practices. And we are good little witches. Next, you're also going to need a tool that fulfills the use of the cauldron. So some kind of heat resistant bowl.
So the same thing I'm cooking my bones in.
Yeah, maybe. Not
Okay.
the Tupperware.
Not the top. We throw that out.
We throw it away. We eat our teppanyaki and we throw it away. And then also like a cup of water. And that's just for safety. It's not for anything else. If you want to be fucking cool with it, you can do some moon water, but it's not going to be part of the ritual. It's just going to be for keeping you safe.
Yeah. This isn't about you. Ego death.
Remember.
Remember, please.
So you're going to cleanse and ground. And I would say at least 3 breaths, dude. It's so easy. I know that the first 2 sound fucking lame. They feel lame as fuck. The third one, it's going to hit different.
Mm-hmm.
I think this whole thing is pretty simple. You're going to write down what you feel guilty about or mistakes that you feel like you've made. As always, you can be as thoughtful or stream of consciousness as you want, because this is entirely your own practice.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're going to break the twigs, snap, and then place them into the cauldron and light them on fire. And so this dish has really got to be tall enough that you could put these twigs in there.
Okay.
Okay, so it's like twig size, cauldron size. Be thoughtful. This little piece of paper that you've written, you're going to crumple it up. You're going to place on top of the flame. This is called kindling. If you ever have to go camping, you need little twigs and pieces of paper to light your fire.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to sprinkle the mugwort and the rosemary on top of the flame. If you're into circling, to the left for banishment. And then you're going to fan the flame with your fan tool. So again, Llewellyn calls for a feather. I feel like if there's another tool that you have that is important to you, a little fan, a little piece of paper, anything. So you're fanning this thing that you've set on fire and you're like, wow, I have a lot more I need to be forgiven for. And you're fanning it. And what I want you to do is I want you to imagine that your guilt and your shame and the thing that you've been fucking beating yourself up for like over and over again for the last 20 years, it's just being lifted away with the smoke. Okay, I need you to allow this to be the last time you punish yourself for this. This is the last time.
That's a big step.
Okay, because you've already done it enough. You really have. And it's like anyone else that would still be punishing you for this in your own life, that's like an abusive person.
Yeah, get rid of them. Cut them out.
And you can't cut yourself out because you're a part of yourself.
Yeah, and you're important.
So if you need to verbalize, I'd probably focus on mantras that involve the concept of release, of weight being lifted off, casting off, letting go. Also, I've been experimenting with just like invoking the goddess, just like asking the goddess for whatever it is that you need, because coming from like a Christian background, like when I was little and I wanted a thing, I would say, dear God, please, blah, 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 blah. So just like asking the goddess.
Okay, did that work though?
Like never, but mostly I wanted wings to fly. So
all right, Icarus.
So just like invoking whatever goddess or god, like even if it's like an unnamed thing, the universe, the spirit, anything, and just invoking the power that is larger than yourself, no matter whether or not it's like named Tammy. Hey, Tammy, can you put $20 in my account? So once everything is like burned through and the ashes are cold, you need to find a place to either bury these. You can put them in a garden. You can put them in a compost bin. If you're in a city, I'm sure there's a tree that would like fucking love your burnt plant material. I'm sure it would love it. So that's it. And I really think that a certain level of self-punishment, no matter how much this hurts, is related to a self-obsession. That you think that you were such a center, such a catalyst for the bad in your life and the bad in other people's lives, that I say this with like a great amount of love, but you're just like not that important.
Damn, she said it.
Nobody thinks about you as much as you think about you.
Damn.
So
okay, but what about my mom? No, there's no fucking way Linda thinks about me as much as I think about me. She's got a fucking life. She's got like 3 dogs.
She is a grandchild.
She has a grandchild.
I'm sure she thinks about you a lot.
Yeah.
But not as much as you think about you. So don't worry about it. Take yourself out of the center, dude. Nobody remembers that time in 8th grade. Except me. I remember.
I wrote it in my diary. It was so funny. It was very mean.
And that's it, dude. That was a really long episode about bones. I hope that it got cut down to being like a nice, fun time.
I love it. I feel like I learned a lot today. And that's all I can hope for, honestly. We would like to thank our producer, Marcel Pérez, our creative director, Mallory Porter, and Kevin MacLeod for the music that we use in the intro and the outro each week.
Oh, so good. Such quality beats.
It's so good. It's a jam. It is a jam.
So I'd really like to thank Barstow75 and Annette BF for their wonderful reviews. I also want to rep one more time the Ashe shop.
Whoop, whoop.
And all of the wonderful work that she's doing over there. I got really nervous when I was reading all of that information about her, but I hope she doesn't hate me forever, because all the stuff that she does is wonderful and absolute gold. So we really need Apple Podcast reviews, like a reoccurring amount of Apple Podcast reviews. If we could have 2 a week,
that'd be dope.
That'd be fucking amazing. It would be fucking monumental for us. So we're not with the network. We don't advertise anywhere. It's like really hard for people to find us unless you tell them about us.
Yeah.
So we don't show up unless people are looking for this very niche thing. And then they don't go to Yes Witch before they go to us. So
no.
Hopefully you'll give us 5 stars. You'll write a review. Writing the review is really important. So on Apple Podcasts, you could write something like the arm bone's connected to the shoulder bone, and the shoulder bone's connected to the heart bone, and the heart bone is where I keep all my guilt that I'm trying to forgive myself for.
That was beautiful. I love that.
Thank you. You could also write,
I found bones on the dark web, and now I'm rich.
Because it was Da Vinci's bones, his lost bones.
Da Vinci, Medici, all of them.
Oh my God, the Medicis.
The Medicis.
But really anything that you write. Some people have been writing the adorable emoji spell.
Yes,
Even
that's
that
cute.
is good. And I really appreciate those. If you do this, we'll read your review on air, and we'll tell you how much we love you. I love you.
Yay. We're also on Instagram. You can find Terra where?
At her lovely face. That's my art Instagram. And then you can also find me on _Little Moss. And that's for pictures of food and like my boyfriend and stuff.
Love that shit. The good content. You can find me on Instagram at Alicia.Herder. You can find the podcast on Instagram at Which Yes.
Oh yeah, easy.
Easy. Thank goodness. And if you want to write into us and Instagram's like not your thing, you can always email us at whichyespodcast@gmail.com.
So right now, Patreon witches are receiving 2 extra episodes a month, which makes this, most months, a weekly podcast.
That's pretty bananas.
So last week, they received an episode of Vault of the Obscure all about Artemis,
Not my cat.
the goddess.
The goddess.
You can receive those at the $5 level. $5 level above are going to receive those episodes. And then at the $10 level, you're going to get our show notes, which are mostly pictures. All right. And I guess that's it, which means that fucking all of this has been
Which Yes.